Good day, good day, good day. Hello, hello, hello. You get everybody muted and then I'll get started. Is recording.
I grew up in Des Moines, one of 4 boys originally. I'm number.
Somebody's watching TV too loud. Okay. All right, we will get started. Okay. So for December, I'm not gonna have any like topic calls. I'm not gonna like teach anything. I feel like now if you guys have been a coach, from October or before October, maybe even November, you know what to do, you know what's going on. It's the very last month of the year. So at this point, I really just want to ask or answer questions for you guys, and get you going solid into January, because that's what's really going to matter. I don't want you to take the foot off the gas right now. I want you to end December strong. But at this point, you guys have got to get your goals locked in before like the 20th. Okay, so you should be pushing, if I were you right now, like it's the last day of the month. I know I say that every month because it's like, yay, push like it's the last day of the month. But really, you should be pushing like it's the last day of the month, because if you push off Success Club, push off those follow-ups, you're not going to get anything as you get each day closer to the end of the year, okay? So please trust me when I say that. If you guys are struggling to hit Success Club, struggling with conversations, struggling talking to people, it's not going to get better, okay? People are going to get less and less engaged on Facebook as it gets closer to time. So make sure you're doing what it takes right now and not waiting, okay? I posted today in Luxe Republic about making this a happy place, right? I don't know if everybody saw it, but I know some of you did. I want to touch on that a little bit. I know that it sucks so bad when coach relations doesn't speak our language. Literally, okay? I know that it's frustrating when hold times are long. I know it's frustrating when we have shipping delays. I know it's frustrating when you can't understand what they're saying, or when you have to have customers call in or you try to call it. I know it's chaotic, okay? I want you guys to really soak in and realize how big of a company we are and how few people we have actually working for us. They are constantly hiring new people in coach relations and in the warehouse, which, by the way, we just expanded to opening a bigger warehouse. There are going to be shipping delays. Hold times are going to be long. We have hundreds of thousands of people that are calling into them every single day to ask questions. Okay, you're not the only coach that's struggling with this, but I please ask you to keep it off of our team page. I know it's frustrating. If you need to go to the bathroom for a minute and cuss out coach relations privately, I need you to do that instead of posting it on our team page. We have a ton of new coaches added every single day in that team page, and even if it's your coach, you probably don't want them to be added to that group and the first thing they see is, I effing hate coach relations or something like that. You know what I mean? Like, it happens all the time, and I just want it to stop. So if you're going to post that, it's probably going to be deleted. I want it to be a happy place where people can come and ask questions and get good feedback and get ideas. I don't want it to be a group where everybody's just complaining about life, okay? I won't say it anymore unless I need to. Our hammer and chisel is live. Hopefully you guys are reaping some of the benefits from this program. I know that it's not going to be a program necessarily for every single person you talk to. So make sure at this point you're asking questions and finding out what your following needs, and finding out, if they work out now, and how much weight do they have to lose, and all these little questions that need to be asked to figure out a perfect program for somebody. It's $160 this month. Our team-wide group starts on the 14th. You can still add people into it. Remember, when they purchase Hammer and Chisel, they get 30 days free of Beachbody On Demand, and their Hammer and Chisel should show up 24 hours after buying it. So they can technically buy it on Sunday and start it on Monday, okay? So make sure you don't stop promoting it like on the 13th or on the 10th or anything like that. Make sure you're constantly promoting it. And guys, if you have people order, on the 17th, 18th, 19th, whatever, add them into the group, because it's going to be a great way for them to build that momentum, for them to be surrounded by other people doing the same workout, getting ideas, hearing tips, hearing tricks, things like that. I have a few meal plans that have been posted by other coaches, like on the wall and stuff like that, and I've got them to share in there to give kind of examples of what your day could look like on Hammer and Chisel, so hopefully that helps. But as you know, these team-wide groups kind of run themselves, and I ask you guys, if you are participating in it, to make sure you're sharing your sweaty selfies, make sure you're sharing your food. That's what our challengers need. They need that pick-me-up, right? They need to discover their why and keep going and stay motivated. But what they really need is to be surrounded by people that are doing the same thing, people that are also parents or work full-time or have struggles fitting in all their nutrition. They need to know that you're eating on track too, and there are other people on this journey with them, okay? So make sure you're helping me by posting those pictures, sharing it publicly also. We're not just posting in the Hammer and Chisel team-wide group, but also publicly, okay? Make it fun, share anything, keep it positive, no complaining, happy faces all the time, right? Go cry in the bathroom. Good? Complaining can be done off camera. Okay. Now, tomorrow, I've kind of dropped the ball on promoting this, but we're going to start today. We're going to start promoting it today, because tomorrow at 6 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Central, 9 p.m. Eastern, I will be hosting a live virtual sneak peek, okay? Instead of a week-long group during the Christmas season, which I figured would be a flop, we're going to do one call, one night sneak peek, okay? During this sneak peek, I will share a little bit of my story. And then I'm also going to cover, remember that fun idea that I had to like redo our sneak peek? Well, that never happened, so I'm going to make it a one-day, one-night thing. And so I'm going to cover different topics, I'm going to do introduction, obviously. I'm going to share what coaching is and how we help people, social media aspect, how to earn money, and how they enroll. Okay, so it's going to be kind of what we would cover in a week-long sneak peek, just in a 30-minute live Zoom chat like this, okay? They can shut their camera off. They don't have to participate. They don't have to talk. I won't ask questions, anything like that. But I will just kind of do like what we used to do, like a business opportunity call, only more detailed, more information. Okay, so live virtual sneak peek via Zoom at 6 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Central, 9 p.m. Eastern. Yes, it will be recorded. I will record it and I will post it, and it'll be on our YouTube channel. So I'm thinking maybe, it'll be easy to have access to it to send to potentials, if they're on the fence, and let them see this little Zoom about, when we did a sneak peek into coaching type thing. Okay. Any questions on that? It's tomorrow. Start talking about it now. If you post tonight, usually the best time I think is 7 to 8 p.m. Central Time. Post about, what coaching is. It'll be at 6 p.m. my time, 8 p.m. Central, 9 p.m. Eastern tomorrow night. Okay, 30 minutes to 40 minutes maybe. I talk fast when I'm under pressure and uncomfortable, so I think I'll be able to get it done pretty quickly. So yeah. Questions on that? Make sure you add people. I want to have like 100 people on. We usually have like 100 to 2 people in our sneak peek. So I'd love to get that kind of, awareness for this actual virtual in-person sneak peek. Just because I think maybe hearing it face-to-face is a little bit different than me typing it out, I want to go over our calendar for the month too really fast before I open it up for questions. I know there's a lot of confusion every time I post this calendar, like what does this mean? What does that mean? I don't know what to post in this situation type things. Friday, what's today? Today's not Friday, today's the 8th, just Tuesday. Today's Tuesday the 8th. So team chat today, tomorrow's our virtual sneak peek. On Thursday, follow up with peekers. That means message privately every single person that you sent to this recording, or to this live Zoom chat. If they didn't catch it, send them the recording. If they did catch it, ask if they had any questions that didn't get answered type thing, okay? Follow up with them. Make sure you're intentional about talking to them and finding out what they thought about it. Maybe they have more questions. Maybe they're still hesitant. Find out why they're still hesitant type thing, okay? That's what following up is. Planting 3 seeds on Friday, I mean messaging people and say, hey girl, I've been following you. I love your posts. I wanted to check and see if you've ever thought about coaching. That's planting a seed, letting them know that, hey, you're a coach, you think they'd be great. Same with the challenge group. Hey, I know we talked in the past about wanting to lose 10 to 15 pounds. I'm starting a new group with my team on the 14th. I'd love to have you join us type thing. Okay, reaching out to 3 people. If you're a diamond coach or a ruby coach, you should probably be upping that to like 5 or 10 people a day that you do that to. Okay, it is a numbers game. If you're just starting out, start out slow if you want to. If you don't want to start out slow, talk to more people. Okay. 5 private challenge group invites are the exact same thing. Like I just said, hey, I know we talked before about you wanting to lose that last 5 or 10 pounds. Let's talk so I can, you know, or no, don't say that. What would I say? I would say, I'm like, don't say that. I have a group starting January 1st, and I'd love to get you set up to help you recover from the holidays or something like that, okay? Any kind of message letting them know that you have an upcoming group, remind them of their goals. If they said they wanted to lose 5 or 10 pounds, you need to remind them of that, okay? Don't just say, hey, do you want to join my next group? Say, hey, I know you wanted to lose those last 5 or 10 pounds. Let's get it done, January 1st, okay? Something like that. 5 private coach up invites on Sunday, which is the same thing like I said before. Hey, I've been noticing your posts. I think you'd be great at coaching. Or hey, I'm loving your encouragement in our challenge group. Have you ever thought about coaching? Those type things, okay? Don't be scared to do those. Those are the only way you're going to step outside your comfort zone and actually draw people in and actually let people know that coaching is a thing. A lot of people don't know that anyone can do this, okay? So remember that even the people who you don't think would be interested, they might be interested. Our team-wide Hammer and Chisel group starts on the 14th. Live Q&A again, just like this on the 15th. Follow-up blitz every Wednesday minus tomorrow. Following up blitz is where I want you to go to the very beginning of your Facebook messages and message everybody. Hey, I have an upcoming group. Hey, I know we talked about losing 5 to 10 pounds. Hey, I know we talked about coaching before. I have a live sneak peek that I want to ask you to watch, or want you to watch this recording and see what you think. Those are following up. Going to every single person that said no in the past and messaging them and starting that conversation back up. That's what you have to do on a follow-up blitz. If you're not doing that right now, you've probably not hit Success Club, and you probably didn't hit Success Club last month, and that's probably why. I need you to dig deep on those Wednesdays when we do that follow-up blitz. Ideally, you should be doing this multiple times a week, but I put it on the calendar once because I know that it's a lot to ask sometimes, okay? So make sure you fit that part in. If you skip your follow-ups, you will not close any more deals. People are not always going to automatically come to you. So you have to get uncomfortable, reach out to them, talk to them. You're not going to bug them unless you're like, hey, I thought you were going to sign up. Why didn't you sign up? Don't say that. Just casually start talking to them again, okay? You're not going to bug people. Coach up invites, plant seeds, coach up invites, lock in Success Club by the 20th. That is your goal. Today is the 8th. So you have basically a week and a half left to lock in Success Club. That means if you are talking, or if your goal is 3 people for Success Club 6, then you need to be talking to how many people a week? You need to be talking to at least, ideally 10 people that you talk to. One of them is going to say maybe, okay, yeah, I'd like more information. And as we all know, that person that says, sure, I'd like more information, doesn't always close the deal, right? So if you're needing 10 people to get 1, that's at least 30 people that you need to be talking to. Ideally, I would send out a message to at least 50 people to lock in Success Club 5. That goes to show you how many people you should be talking to hit it if you've never hit it, okay? I have 21st, I want you to schedule your January challenge group. At this point, I wouldn't start promoting a January challenge group yet. I would really focus on Hammer and Chisel or a group before, like the 14th or something like that. If you wait till January, I feel like you're just going to drag people out. People are going to not pay attention through the holidays. I feel like we need to get it locked in now. So you need a deadline, you need a date, and you need it done before December 31st, okay? If you don't have enough people for a group, team up with other coaches, post in Luxe Republic, post in your personally sponsored group, get coaches together if you're not doing Hammer and Chisel, and run a group with other people. Okay, you don't need 10 people for yourself because it's going to be hard in December. Get, Success Club 5, get your 3 people and team up with someone else to run a group together, okay? Follow-up blitz again, posting about holiday accountability on the 24th. 25th is Christmas. 26th, you should post a public challenge group post. People are going to be feeling like crap after their holiday dinner. Perfect time for a challenge group post to say, hey, I feel like crap too. Let's do this together, right? Another challenge group post, or 5 private challenge group invites on the 27th. Same thing on the 28th. Public on the 29th. And then follow up on the 30th. I left the 31st blank because no one's going to be on Facebook other than posting drunken selfies on New Year's Eve. Correct? Yes. So don't try to get your work done on the 31st. It will not happen. Make sure you get this locked in by the 20th, and that's a challenge to everyone, okay? That covers the calendar. Any questions so far? Everybody's quiet. No questions. Everybody's good. Everybody's going to lock in Success Club by the 20th. Everybody's great. Gretchen's happy. Jessica, go ahead. I can't hear you.
I remember in one of our groups that you said that you were signing someone that as soon as they turned 18, they were enrolling as a coach. I have someone that went online today to enroll. However, it's not letting her do it, and today is her 18th birthday. Did you have the same problem?
Yes. Usually they can't do it until like the day after or even the day after that.
Okay.
Have her try again tomorrow. If she still can't do it tomorrow, have her try the next day, and it should let her do it within a couple days of her birthday. Yeah, okay. I've had the same issue. I'm like, okay, it's midnight. Let's sign you up. And they're like, no, not yet. So
yeah. Okay.
Just wait a little bit. It'll happen. Anybody else? Let's do questions.
On some of those younger, like you just said, there was an 18-year-old coach. What does their marketing strategy look like? Because their friends, frankly, aren't going to have money for a fitness program.
It's going to be harder. And I think it's the same with like dealing with college age people, right? They usually have to ask their parents or something like that. And so I just encourage every single person to focus on family, close friends. Because I mean, some people are going to have the parents that are like, okay, yeah, let's do this workout program or whatever. But they need to be more than anybody expanding their network onto people that are not in their market right now. You know what I mean? Like, add new friends on Facebook, add people that are not in high school, like 20-somethings versus 18 fresh out of high school. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be harder for them, obviously, but I have a couple that are good at it, but they don't usually deal with instant network. Who is that? Does that answer your question? Okay.
I have a question.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so every month, we create an invite to our challenge group, and we go through the list, and we invite a bunch of people on the list, which I feel like it just takes forever. Is there any way to make that easier or get more people to,
Okay.
I get like 10, 12.
Now, I saved a link this morning because I was scrolling through my newsfeed. Let me find it again. And I saved it, like you can like save links. There was a post on the wall where somebody said, it was like, let me find out where it was. It was like the fast way to invite all your friends on, or not to, oh, never mind. No, this was deleting a group. Never mind. You have to delete a group.
Every person, yeah.
You have to delete it one by one. There's somebody posted a link on how to do that faster. So that wasn't the same thing. But I'll post that too once I figure that out. So your question's like how to do it, like invite more people or invite, what say your question?
I'll do like 500 because I think that's about the limit that they let you.
Yeah.
But I guess my thing is that I'll get like 10 people interested or whatever. Like I'm doing a clothing, like a Philly like outfits or like clothes thing right now, and I have like 60 people that are wanting to do that. Granted, people want to buy clothes more than they want to do workouts, but how do I get more people interested in that event? Is there anything?
I did for Hammer and Chisel, but outside of like new launches, I don't even do events anymore. The reason being is because of that 500 person max. And I want to invite my entire friends list because I haven't talked to my entire friends list, right? So I want to reach more people that I haven't talked to yet. So most of my invites are done via public posts and private messages. So,
Okay.
I mean, I feel like with anything, when they're put on the spot more, like hey, you know, I know you wanted to lose those last 5 or 10 pounds. I have a group starting on January 4th, and I really want to get you plugged in. That's going to be a lot more effective than a invite that they can click and ignore.
Well, and that's kind of what I'm feeling is probably going on. And honestly, if I kept getting the same invite from Megan Peters, I'd probably be like,
there goes Megan again. Yeah.
yeah. And I don't want to be like, oh, Lord, here comes her
Yeah.
invite monthly.
No, and that's how I kind of felt. So I don't even do them anymore. Plus, I would look at the 500 people that it invited, and 400 of them are coaches. And so I'm like, this is pointless. You know what I mean? Where you can instead go in and select who you want to invite and message who you want to invite and make it public so that people that comment or like are really the only ones interested. You know what I mean? Kind of narrows it down and makes it a little bit more personal, I think. Especially if you've done 50 invites in the past for your last 50 challenge groups. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay. Perfect. Thank you.
So, yeah. Yeah, and Rachel said make sure it's public and share the event on your page once in a while in the weeks leading up. And yes, posts and combos do better than the event ever will. Yes.
Awesome. Okay.
Well said, Rachel. And Gretchen said, did you say tomorrow sneak peek will be a Zoom chat? Are you opening up for discussion or just talking? I will be a Zoom chat. I thought about opening it up for a discussion, but I'm always terrified of getting no questions and looking like an idiot. Like I do on our team calls every week. But I might, if I finish in like 20 minutes and I'm like, oh my gosh, I should like slow down a little bit, then I might open it up for questions. Because I always felt like doing the Q&A with potentials would be pretty effective, but I'll just kind of play it by ear and see how it goes. If I'm like looking at faces and everybody's bored out of their mind, then I'll probably just end it. But if people are like smiling and happy, I might ask questions. Anybody else? What else do you want to talk about?
Okay, I'll say another
Go
question.
ahead, bring it all on.
I guess my thing is I get some messages from my coaches like, hey, how do I do this? Or, hey, how do I help this person, whatever. And I'm like, ladies, if you would pay attention to the trainings that I help you with or encourage you to do, you know, you and I kind of talked about this before, but it's like they don't do it, but yet they want me to continue to help them. Sometimes I get frustrated because I've had to learn a lot of this stuff all on my own. I think it's about digging in there and figuring out those answers on yourself, you know, for yourself. I don't mind answering them, but sometimes it's like banging my head on the wall.
Yeah. Now, the more coaches you sign up and the more coaches they sign up, the more of an issue this is going to become.
Well, and that's what I'm worried about because their coaches are their coaches. And then I'm like,
yeah.
Well,
You have, okay, so like our training is pretty broad, right? We have like the Getting Started Right video, which is 53 minutes long. And I'll be honest, people probably doze off through half of it, right? They don't listen to everything. They get distracted. Maybe they've got it playing in the background while they're doing something else. And then we have like these specific little videos, like a Challenge Group 101 and just different things like that. If you have a question that people are coming to you with often, maybe make a video on it. You know what I mean? Make a video and post it to your team page. It doesn't have to be like lighting and beautiful and fabulous. Just make a video and be like, hey, I get this question often. I'm going to answer this question. That way it's an easy copy paste and refer them to the files where your videos are type thing. I do that a lot, even with my YouTube channel. If I've done a video on it or I covered it in a video, I'll copy and paste the video to them and make them watch it to answer the question. But I still have this issue very, very often where, what's Success Club? I'm like, didn't you watch the main video that I asked you to watch? Like, I get that all the time. And so, honestly, most of the time, I let those, you can kind of screen your messages, you know, and see what they're actually messaging you about. You don't have to, like, open it all the way. I do this often. I will screen the message, and if it's a question like that where I'm like, you should know this, I leave it, and I'll let it sit for a day or two. And 9 out of 10 times, they'll find the answer themselves. Or I'll get a message back in, 2 hours saying, never mind, found it, or something like that. You know what I mean? It just kind of lets them back off for a second and without your help, try to find their answer on their Does that make
It's not like I don't want to put them off and be like nasty, because yes, I do want to help everybody. I would love to hold your hand, but I'm not going to.
right? Well, give them, and it's not me pushing them off isn't being nasty. It's more so like, I'm going to act like I haven't seen this message and make you figure it out on your own. You know what I mean? Like, especially if you've answered it for them before, they know they just are depending on you more than they should. And you're right. This business, you do, yeah, Samantha Holly, I've got a few of those. And I still have people like that. I don't know if any of them are on this call, and I will not say names, but I still have people who come every single day and ask questions or help with the same scripting or the same this and the same that. And I'm like, you know this. I'm going to ignore this message and make you find the answer on your own. And it's good form. It's not, we can handhold to an extent, but not to a point where it takes away from us. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. Did I answer your question? Okay. Crystal said, I had a coach that signed up last month and was so pumped to get started. I sent her the training post and she told me she was going to watch it that night and then texted me when she finished. Well, she never did and now will not respond to my text. How do you get your coaches excited to keep going in this? Or in this case, get up and going. You cannot be a dead horse, right? Somebody signs up and they're like, oh my gosh, I have these huge goals and I want to bring my spouse home from work and I want to be home with my kids full time, or I want to do this or I want to do that. That's all like great. And they like imagine that and they're like, oh my gosh, that would be so amazing. But what they really don't see is what it's going to take to get there. Brett uses this example a lot. Like, they see us move to California and they see us on the beach and they see us working from home every day and they're like, oh my gosh, that'd be so nice. But what they don't see are the late nights, the early mornings, the tears, the frustration, the constant messaging, like everything it took to get there. And a lot of coaches, especially new coaches starting out, aren't going to want to do that. They're not going to see the value in the coaching opportunity. I thought he was going to say something. Brett's hiding in the corner again. So I think that you have to do your best to set them up for success, give them the training material that they need, follow up with them, check in on them after a couple of days if they haven't, messaged you or responded to you. But if you've sent a couple messages with no response, on to the next, right? You cannot sit with that one or two coaches who are, kind of halving the business and not really doing anything and not really responding, and then they don't post, but then they're coming to you saying it's not working for them or your systems are flawed. And you're like, you can't make them do it. Yeah, Gretchen, you can't lead a horse, or you can lead a horse through water, but you can't make them drink. Exactly. You have to be on this constant hunt for people who see the value in it just like you do. If you are seeing success in this business, do your very best to share that success and share what it took to get there and share what Beachbody's doing for you. That's going to draw people in who want the same things, but it's also going to draw people in that think that you just snapped your fingers and got it, right? So you have to be able to, if they respond to you, talk to them and say, hey, this isn't going to happen overnight. You need to be posting. You need to be doing your power hour. You need to make sure you watch the training videos. You need to do this. You need to do that. Outside of that, there's not much you can do. I always say, like I said, if you message them a couple times, on to the next. We should always be bringing in new people. We shouldn't have the same two coaches that got us to Emerald for more than a month, okay? So make sure you're pushing every single day to bring people on. And out of those, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 people that you bring on, you're going to have a couple that get it and want to work the business. And that's where your true success comes from, is finding and identifying those people that want it as bad as you do and running with them, okay? So don't drag her around. Let her go. And if she eventually one day is like, okay, I want to do this, then run with her, okay? Because she'll be back if she wants it bad enough. On to the next. Who else? Anybody else?
Rena, I have a question.
Okay, go ahead.
So I'm at the point right now that I've gone through like all of my follow-ups from July and September. Yesterday, I spent like 3 hours, blitzing, doing those same follow-ups for, my new group. So my inbox is kind of cleared. Like it's either archived or I've got a list of people that want to do the January group. And so yesterday I'm like, okay, Now I've got to go in and like start really adding more and more and more. I just don't know where to go. Like I'm in a couple different groups. Like I'm in like a endometriosis group, a nurse group, like a couple of those. But I feel like I've added everyone in those groups. So I feel like I have a blank slate and I don't know where to go.
Yeah. Hold on. I'm going to make sure this still works. And then, yeah. Okay. So you can do, a few things. Obviously, you can go to your friends of friends, which I do frequently. I obviously have to look and make sure that they're not friends with any other coaches, which is rare nowadays. And then you're adding people like that, right? I would go to, you can search. I think there's like searches now for like your high school, for your city that you live in, things like that. And I'll go through and add those people if they're not friends with any coaches. Groups, like you're doing, great way to add new people. I mean, if you're joining, like, say you join a multi-poo group, right? The group's probably got thousands of people in it. Honestly, I would go through, look and make sure they have a cool, cute profile picture and add them. I mean, that's what I would do. And that's what I do in a lot of swap groups, same thing. I've talked about it before. I don't know if I've talked about it recently enough, but if you go to the top of the search engine in Facebook and type in, like I just did it to make sure it's still working, I typed in women in San Diego under 40 who like surfing. That's going to pull up women in San Diego under the age of 40 who like surfing. Add. Who like puppies, who like Biggest Loser, who like, women's fitness, like anything. As long as they don't have friends with a lot of coaches, I'm adding all day long.
Okay. I think I just needed to hear you say that one more time.
I
know you told us that a bunch of times. I always get, like, I feel like I get so excited. My inbox is like, I got it figured out, and I'm like, oh, crap, now what do I do?
I know. And it's hard, after, like, I mean, I don't know if I've been to the point yet where I've been, like, my inbox has been totally drained, but I'm very intentional about in between, like, every other day probably going through and just adding people until I get a warning. You know what I mean? And then I'll take a couple days off, and then I'll go through and add people until I get a warning. But I'm very intentional about adding people who, this might be, I don't even know if this is snobby, but I don't care, who look like they're in my demographic. You know what I mean? Like this is terrible, but I'm going to say it, who look like they have money, who look like they're young and take care of themselves. You know what I mean? Because I'm now attracting coaches, not just challengers. So that's what I'm very intentional about who I add. And if I go through and add people and then, a week later don't have a lot of people that have accepted it, I'll go through and empty that out and start over again. Okay? So be very intentional about who you're adding. You don't want to, like, I always share how Brett adds people to his demographic, but I just found out that he's been adding people and, like, not even paying attention to if they're coaches or not. So a lot of them have been coaches, and I'm like, delete them! Like, don't accept them!
Then I spent an hour going through and deleting them.
Yeah, and then it takes forever to delete them. So just make sure they're not coaches. Guys, you can follow coaches, but don't waste your friends list on people who are coaches. Even, honestly, if they're on your team, there's probably some of you that I'm not even friends with on Facebook. Follow them so you can follow their posts and get inspiration, but save your actual friends list for good quality people that are going to be able to see your posts and benefit your business. Okay?
Do you add people from Brett's list, or do you just let them see because you tag?
I let them see because I tag. I get a lot of people, actually. Like, Brett will see it, like, somebody signed up, and he's like, I added that person. I'm like, thank you. Thank you very much. You know what I mean? So it does pay to make sure that your husband is signed up and you're tagging your spouse and maybe even adding friends on his end. You know what I mean? Katie tried to follow Brett, and it wouldn't let you. Wouldn't let her. Maybe it's his settings. I'll check his settings.
Katie who?
Katie who?
There's like 4 of them.
The Katie Shingler? I don't know who.
No, we're friends.
Wood. Katie Wood. You don't have to add them, but in your settings it should. Okay, yeah, make it more public. Yeah. I let him know. I'm going to read some of the comments here. I got annoyed from these random sales group people putting me in. Now I'm happy to be. Yes. So that's a great point, Stephanie. So those Jamberry or Unique or New Makeup Line or whatever, all those groups that we get added to that we hate, add all the people. Okay. Don't remove yourself immediately. add all of them as friends first, as long as they're not friends with, you know, another coach. Now, if it's a coach that adds me into that group, I'm like, add them anyway. Just kidding. But yeah, if you get added to those groups that we all hate and we all talk about, add them all as friends. Not kidding at all. I talked about how Leslie used to post. Brett changed his settings, so try it now. But Leslie used to, when she got added to those groups, she'd post her transformation picture and be like, I don't know how I got added in here, but if you're looking to start your health and fitness journey, message me or something like that. I did that once and got like blocked immediately. So I don't do it straight up like first time. We maybe add everybody and then do it, so then you get kicked out. But I thought that was a funny idea too. Yeah, Addie says I add all the women then leave. Okay, Christy said, can you explain how and why you archive combos? Pretty please. I've heard you mention that, but want to know more. So for me, and I'm sure Kari does the same thing, as soon as I'm talking to somebody or having a conversation, or maybe I send out 100 of the same, like, hey, I have a group starting on January 4th. I remember you wanted to lose 5 to 10 pounds. Let's chat. I archive that. It doesn't delete it or anything like that. It just gets it out of my main little, like, this is my follow-up list. And so if I've sent a message, I'm archiving it just to get them out so I can see who I have left and who I haven't talked to and things like that. Just a way to empty space for me. That way then, you know, maybe January 1st when all my messages have been archived, I can unarchive them all and then start at the very bottom again. Does that make sense? Is that what you do, Kari? Yeah. Okay. Megan says, my husband won't get a Facebook account. He thinks it's gay. Haven't messaged Brett.
He thinks not making money.
Yeah. Brett says, does he think making money is gay? That's funny. I know how spouses are, trust me. Like, Brett didn't have a Facebook account for a long time, and even when he did have a Facebook account and then I signed up as a coach, I would tag him and he would get so mad, especially when we do like the A and B. Which one do you like better? And it's like ding, 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 like on his phone all day long. He got so annoyed. But then when he started to see that it actually benefited my business by tagging him and expanded, you know, my network even more, then he was like, whatever.
When your husband see coaches that, you know, you've recently added, when your tags with that start signing up, then they won't care.
Yeah.
When they start seeing your income grow, they shouldn't.
And guys, I'm going to expand on this, and I know this isn't what you were talking about or what you even intended, but those spouses that are not supportive in whatever way, you know, whether it's getting a Facebook or you doing the business in general or whatever the case may be, prove them wrong. Brett wasn't on board when we first started. He thought it was the stupidest idea in the entire world. But when I was consistent and stuck with it and the paychecks started rolling in, that changed everything. Okay, that changed his entire outlook on Beachbody. Then when we got to go to these live events and these free trips and things like that, and we earned the Success Club cruise and things like that, your spouse is almost, and Addie can attest, Gretchen can attest to this, your spouse is almost like, holy crap, this is real. And he gets to see like how much of a family Beachbody really is and how awesome the leaders are, like Carl Deichler and Jeff Hill, and how real everybody is. Like it's like a huge eye-opener for your husband, especially if you can get them to Summit or something like that. So just stay consistent. Yeah. Marty, Gretchen's husband, was like, nope. And then he's like, all right, like in like a day, right? Like totally on board in like a day because he just saw the potential in Beachbody. So keep going, stay consistent. I know how hard it is when your spouse is not on board. I know it's probably the hardest thing in the world to keep going and believe in it and push every single day when you don't have any support. But act like you don't have a choice, okay? Okay. Anybody else? Megan, tell your husband to get over it.
Start an account for him and he'll never know.
There you go. Like, hi.
He's a dairy farmer, so I'm thinking I could find a bunch of,
There you go.
who knows.
Farmer wives.
Yeah, there you go.
I mean, honestly, do these husbands actually care if you do that? Like, if you create an account for them, if they don't have to run it? I mean, you can post on their behalf and, you know, simply for the tagging purposes and adding to the network, you know, use them for their 5,000, you know, friends or whatever.
Right.
They don't ever have to touch it. They don't have to have the app on their phone and get notifications and stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good idea.
Does he know that? Does your husband do that, David?
Did he what?
Does he know that he doesn't have to do anything?
No, I'd probably well, he probably just doesn't want any of his friends seeing that he has Facebook.
That's true.
Oh, jeez.
But it's kind of the same thing like when you sign your spouse up, you know what I mean? They don't have to do anything. Like it's not for them to run the business, it's for you to work through them, you know what I mean, for extra income. So I do it anyway and just don't add his immediate friends.
Yeah, I mean, we always pitch it, like I get a lot of calls and messages from, men and women that like don't want, anything to do with social media for whatever reason. I'm like, you got to start thinking of your social media as your business. Facebook as your business, Instagram as your business, like this own personal website you've created for your business. You know what I mean? And so explain it to your husbands that way. You know what I mean? Like it's for the business. You know what I mean? It's not to go and post that you're, at Target buying dishes or whatever. You know what I mean? Use it for your business with the goal to, add revenue and, expand your market. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Stephanie said, does anyone create a second personal account? Like, you mean like a second me? I haven't. I use Brett's, but like Kari said, I have a like page. Honestly, if you're not maxed out on friends, I don't suggest getting a like page yet. You can if you want to, I don't care. But the only way to really truly grow a like page is by paying for ads. So if you're hesitant on investing in Shakeology, you don't need to invest in ads for Facebook yet, okay? So, right. Get on Shakeology first. But yeah, I mean, when do you think it's time to start a like page? I'm up to about 4,000 friends, and I know there's still space for 1,000 more, but it kind of makes me nervous. I would do it now. If you're getting close, I would do it now and just start slowly growing it. But I would also go through and I don't know if you guys are in all these groups, but there's like a Beachbody Champions group, all these little Beachbody groups that's full of coaches. I go through and all the ones that you're friends with are towards the top. If they're coaches that I don't know, that aren't on my team, I just delete them. I don't leave that group. I just go through and start deleting coaches. So you might do that too, just to make some extra room, because honestly, I spend maybe 150. I know he's going to say more, but I'm leading up to that. My goal
She always rounds down.
Whatever. My goal is to spend 150 a month on ads. Okay. Does that get me anywhere? I don't even really know. So I experimented last month and I spent $480 on ads, and I saw no difference. So that is, to me, it's I'm just gonna let it I don't even know what I'm gonna do. My page is a cluster right now because I can't figure out where to invest the money and how to really grow it without spending a ton. You know what I mean? To me, I don't feel like I should pay for all this. I feel like if I have Brett's organization, I have my organization, I have, only quality people on my friends list, then that's what I want to focus on. But I do work through Instagram and stuff like that too, but it's I don't feel like you should have to pay for all that advertisement on Facebook. So that's why I tell you guys not to get a page initially. Work with the 5,000 people that you have access to right now. Once you grow past that, then, think of other options. But yeah, I would just start deleting some coaches and make some cuts on that end and maybe start a page and let it kind of grow. I also don't do this. I don't share my page on my personal page. I don't want any connection to it whatsoever because I want it to be a whole new set of people. Does that make sense? So I don't it says invite people to your page and you can click and add all these coaches. I don't do that because I don't want coaches on my page. I want new organic people, not the same people that are over here. Does that make sense? So try to make it two different. I hope that answered any questions you have about that. But make sure you use up all your 5,000 friends first, is what I would say. Donnie said, I'm having trouble adding people on Facebook. Facebook won't let me. I get a pop-up that say I don't. I can't remember. But I've tried every day for the last few days. Send me what you're getting. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if you're blocked. If you're blocked, I've been blocked for 30 days once. I was blocked for 30 days as a new coach. That sucked. So if you are blocked, then you have to wait until you're unblocked. I don't know. Let me know what alert you're getting on that. Okay. Who are you talking to, Kari? What? And I'm like, you're so funny. I'm blushing. I'm on day 2 of Hammer and Chisel. That's funny. Stephanie said, should I wait for 5,000 friends before learning another platform? Not necessarily. I mean, I would start whatever you want to start, like any other platform. If you're consistent at adding and growing to Facebook and you're consistent at posting on Facebook, then I say go ahead. But there are a lot of coaches who are like, okay, I want to be on Twitter, Instagram, Pinterest, YouTube, everything, and they suck at all of them. You know what I mean? So make sure you're great at Facebook and have a following and are consistent on Facebook before going on Instagram or going to a blog or going to Pinterest or whatever other platform. You know what I mean? Just want you to be good and not, like, my fear would be that you are amazing on Facebook and then you get an Instagram and then your Facebook slacks. You know what I mean? So I want you to maintain that consistency that you have on your first original platform and benefit it, you know, get the most benefit from it before moving on to something else. Yeah, but it's not going to hurt. Yeah, Donnie, send me a picture of that. Okay. All right, like 10 more minutes. Any other questions, concerns, issues?
How's everybody looking for January? What they setting themselves up with?
Like conversations and stuff? Are you guys focusing on having those conversations now to like lead up to a good January? Is that everybody? I mean, if you're not, you should be like making sure that you're at, like now out of any month in the year, make sure that you are like legit adding 5 to 10 people a day. Like I would just add until you get a warning, right? Like you get that warning that says, do you know this person outside of Facebook? Make sure you're only adding people you know. Ignore, right? And then go back to it the next day. Like make sure you're consistently adding people and make sure you're posting first and foremost. If you can't fit follow-ups in a day, whatever, make sure you're posting. If you're posting, that's kind of like a follow-up in my eyes, right? You're putting it all out there for people to see 5 times a day. And that's good enough for me if you don't have time to fit anything else in. So make sure you're posting first and foremost. And adding people, post, add people every single day, okay? Especially through this time of year. I still have my list pulled up from the women under 40 in San Diego who like surfing, and I'm adding people as we do this. Christy, do you have a tangible hard copy contact list or do you use your Facebook friends list? Rachel, where did Sam share that video? Do you remember where she shared that? I think it was in a private group somewhere. Samantha Holly made a video about how she actually tracks her contact list and stuff like that. There she is. Yay! Talk. I'll let you speak.
Sorry, I missed the question, but I heard my name.
They were asking if we had a hard copy contact list or do you use your Facebook friends list or something like that. I wanted you to kind of touch on, or if you want to, maybe share that video in Lex. I don't remember where you shared it.
Yeah, I shared it in my team page and the Diamond page, but I'll share it there. It's because it's on YouTube. It's
okay.
I just have like a file that has all my new contacts, when or who I engaged with, who I started new conversations with non-Beachbody, who I invited, and then who I invited to coaching. So just kind of like a progression like that.
Perfect. Yeah. So I'll have her share that in Lex, and hopefully that'll help too. I have a combination of that. I do a lot from my Facebook lists, and then a lot from Gmail, and a lot from Excel, and then I downloaded this thing called, what's it called? Script or Sprint or something like that. Streak. Streak, and it was close enough. And it allows you to like put in your contacts, their email, what you talked about, things like that. And I love it. I don't know what it is. Like I can't remember to like when I'm talking to somebody to put their name in. Like I'm so dependent on my Facebook Messenger right now. It's not even funny. So I need to get better at that. So watch Samantha's video though. That'll help a lot. Adrian said, how often do you delete your pending friend requests? I do it once a week. I start at the bottom and I'll delete some once a week. I don't delete all of them because I give them a little bit of time because, you know, again, people aren't on Facebook as often as we are. So if it's been a couple weeks and they haven't accepted it, then I usually just delete it. Okay, and Donnie said, it says that I'm sending and or may be abusive. I didn't know requesting friends is abusive. It can be. I would stop for a certain amount of time. It's probably because you went on a friending fiasco and people probably reported it or maybe said they don't know you. And so Facebook's got this alert out saying this chick's trying to add everybody and they will eventually block you. So I would just stop for probably a week. I would maybe just start back adding people slowly on Mondays because you don't want to get completely blocked because that really, really stinks. Woofu forms. Stephanie, like, do these forms cost? Do you get a lot back from it? I love using Woofu. I have a contact me form. I have a coach application form and then a challenge group application form. And so I attach the proper form to each coach app post or challenge group post or whatever. Just allows you to get more information from somebody before you actually are able to talk to them. And then having that form on there too, I think keeps it a little bit more organized. It makes people look a little bit more formal, like, okay, she's got an application, I'll fill this out now, type thing. I get a lot of good feedback from it. Like I'll post a contact me form and they're also like on my cover photo and, like randomly on different websites and stuff. And so I probably get contact forms every day, just over different things, like, randomly here and there. So, but I also I had a blog and I sucked at blogging. And so I kind of redid it and made it just like a central location where you could see my Facebook, you could see my Instagram, you could see my Pinterest, you could see a picture of me, click on it, have my contact form. I shared my story, like my transformation video from YouTube. And I have my Luxe Republic team kind of photo where they can click and then it's the application to join our team. And so I've kind of strategically made my rainaversusfood.com a little more user-friendly and maybe a more central location where I can kind of direct everybody to there and then everything I have is there. Does that make sense? So if you guys, domains are ridiculously cheap. So if you have a Girls That Lift, like Kari, or Raina versus Food, or some kind of name that you've created for yourself that's kind of your nickname, I would buy that domain ASAP, or even your name, rachellane.com. Sounds like a fashion website of some sort. But yeah, and just kind of make it a central location because it's nice to have an area to send people and just get all the information they need, if that makes sense. And everywhere you click leads to some kind of application on my page or video. Yeah, I bought rainaversusfood.com and it was $10. And it was $10 for the entire year. So it's pretty cheap. She asked if you buy through GoDaddy. Yeah, and Woofu is free. It's free for 3 forms, I think. I pay $25 a month because I wanted more forms and I only used 3, so I need to cancel that probably.
Yes.
So, yes, please do. Okay. So yeah, so it is free if you're not going to have that many forms. But you don't really need much else. I made my challenge group one since I did random challenge groups here and there, and then I do my full wellness group all the time, and just different things like that. And so I thought a basic challenge group, not no excuses November or something like that. I felt a basic, just generic name all around was good. So you paid for your domain, just Google someone to design it. So what I did is, you have to pay for blog service though. I don't pay for Blogger. I use Blogger and I don't pay for it. I don't think I pay for it anyway. And when I bought my domain, I posted on Facebook and said, hey, does anybody know how to create a blog? And I had 1 million people say, yeah, I do. And then I messaged some of them and I had a girl literally do it all for me for free. So I would use that as an engaging post and maybe ask somebody that knows how to do it for you because it's apparently not that hard for people who know how to do it. And I paid $10 for my domain and it covers me for a year. I do not pay for my blog. I don't use WordPress. Samantha said she paid $3 for her URL for the Samantha whatever, and then $89 a year for her WordPress. And no, I don't pay anything through Blogger. So, but I don't know if there are different benefits to WordPress versus Blogger. Maybe there's something I don't get. I don't know. And then Kristen said, I created my blog by watching YouTube videos and bought a domain for $12 a year. Boom. That's how you do it. Or make an engaging post. But yeah. And then when I redid it, I was like, okay, I'm going to learn how to do this. And so I experimented and clicked on every button and kind of redid it by myself. But the original blog that was created was done by the girl on Facebook. So. Any other questions? Any other issues anybody wants to talk about before I let you go? I love you guys. I always feel like I get on these team calls and I'm like, face. And so I'm not trying to be like, face if I ever am. I really am a nice person, I swear. Sometimes I just have to yell about Success Club. Anybody else? Gretchen's cracking up. Raina, what's your friend's name with the huge boobs? Coach friend. What? Oh, was that on a video or something? Or what are you talking about? Didn't somebody say that on a video?
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
She was in Cancun with us, and we sat and talked to her all day. She just had a really good post, and I wanted to copy it, and I lost her for my newsfeed.
Okay, well, I just thought that maybe somebody commented on my picture and they were talking about you because you have huge boobs, and I was like, did I miss that? Michelle Goldstein.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Yep, Michelle Goldstein. We were just talking about her a little bit ago. It's funny. She's crazy. She is crazy. Anybody else? Rachel does have boobs. Sorry. I bet they're enormous now.
Yes.
Out of control. That's so funny. All right. Well, I will let you guys go. Have an amazing week. Be very intentional. Start adding people. Start talking to people. Lock in Success Club. And we'll talk again in a week. All right? Have a good day, guys. Bye.